Hello all, it's Alex at CollectioNeo here, and today I've had two, yes count them, two Thirst for Figures statues delivered. And as you can see, we're kicking off here with Mugen from Samurai Champloo. Now if you haven't seen Samurai Champloo, it's an anime by a rather good director named Shinichiro Watanabe. Now, you may not be familiar with Samurai Champloo, but I imagine if you do watch anime, you'll be familiar with his other more successful anime called Cowboy Bebop. And he also did a personal favourite of mine, Space Dandy, who I would kill. Please, someone get a Space Dandy license. Do me a statue in 1/4 scale. You know, I'd love it. First figures, come on. They're doing Cowboy Bebop. They've done Cowboy Bebop. So yes, this is a first figures piece. We'll get into that in a moment. This is their second anime piece after Saitama from One Punch Man, which you can find the review of on my channel. Now, as soon as this went up, I was just like, oh my god. When First Figures announced they had this Samurai Champloo line, I was like, what? Really? You know, this anime, if you've never seen it, it's about two rival samurais and one girl all go on an adventure together kind of thing, and you know they're looking for this certain person who smells of sunflowers, and it's just super fun and kind of weird, amazing soundtrack. It's very sweet, it's very charming, very much like Space Dandy and Cowboy Bebop. I've not watched a lot of Cowboy Bebop. I know, I've tried it, I can't get into it. You know, I will try again, I promise, you know, because Samurai Champloo and Space Dandy is so good. Why wouldn't Bebop be the same? But I just can't get into Bebop. Anyway, yeah, this, and I'd definitely recommend you to check it out. It's 26 episodes and everyone's a joy. It's just, you know, this super sweet and it's super charming and super enjoyable to watch. And to be honest, there's not a lot of anime around like that anymore. And when First Figure said they got the license, I thought, brilliant, what are they going to do? A museum pose, you know, or, you know, Mugen is a very acrobatic character, so I was expecting something a bit wild from them. Not like this. Also, quarter scale, which again, like Saitama, they were kind of doing quarter scale before anyone else was doing quarter scale, and I think it's taken time for people to come round to quarter scale anime pieces, and I think that they're a bit more accustomed to it, and you know it's a bit more the norm with Sume and Prime 1 doing these huge quarter scale pieces now and asking for a ridiculous amount of money for them. So Mugen went up for order last August, and he's come out this August. About a year turnaround, so as usual for FF, pretty quick. This is the exclusive version, which we'll go into in a bit. I'm reading notes if you can't tell. I've got number 143 of 300. So after Saitama did about 250 on its exclusive, this only did 300, and I think it really put First Figures off of anime. They were like, hey, we're doing so well in video games, anime isn't really working out. But luckily, after that, Guts is tracking to around 700 exclusive pieces, and Spike, who they have done from Cowboy Bebop now, for a ridiculously low price of $350. They've also tracked about 600 pieces, I think I last heard. Numbers will be coming up for Spike soon. This guy was $450. It's 24 inches. The pose is ridiculous. The amount of stuff you get with it is insane. It's a cracking price. It was then, it still is now. And like I say, a year turnaround on production. So First Figures are really, really getting there. Now I'm going to try and just pull out a bit, because if you haven't seen, there you go, there are the legs. So you've got this, if you, like I say, if you haven't seen the anime, Mugen is a samurai, but not like any other samurai. He's almost an acrobat, and he's really wild fighting style. And this piece just epitomises that, really. Now I am turning him very, very carefully, and you'll see why soon. He's got the metal plates on his feet, which like I say, if you watch the show, you'll see. But yes, he's this very acrobatic warrior, whereas Jin, the other samurai, his counterpart, is very calm, very focused, a completely different, you know, it's that opposites attract sort of thing. And then you've got Fu in the middle, who's the girl, the damsel, but, you know, spunky, very spunky. And this pose is just like, whoa, wow. Now, I haven't seen a pose like this since Hard Heroes Daredevil. If you haven't never saw that, it's a fantastic Daredevil piece in 1/5 scale. Or was it 1/6? It was a big piece for about 18 inches tall, but it was literally Daredevil, kind of in the same pose, with a vertical pose, whereas this is a bit more wild. He's got legs flailing and all that. Now, I have to turn him carefully because of the nature of the statue is, let me set back up. If I just do that, there's the base of the statue, as you can see, the black base. So I've got him higher than usual, thanks to a couple of books here and there on the Lazy Susan. So yeah, he's very, very needs to be at our level. That's the long and short of it. He displays better at our level, or preferably above you. So he's kind of looking down. It's the only thing I've got a problem with the entire statue. Otherwise, I think it's pretty much faultless. I daren't say faultless, but it's kind of faultless. But yeah, just the angle of the, you know, which way you need to view it from is a bit tricky. Let's go over it a little bit, and I'll tell you what comes with the regular. So at the moment, this is the regular head-on, which is kind of the stoic. Oh my God. Strong magnet. Balancing on books. Kind of stoic, looking off to the left. And can I just say that First Figures continue after Side Army to do really, really good anime faces. And the hair. Obviously they didn't have to sculpt hair on Side Army. But look at that hair, look at the layers. It's really fucking good. So that's the regular head. And then as you can see on the base, we've got all these arrows and swords. Now, the arrows come with the regular, only the swords only come with the exclusive. So it's just like a bunch of swords, like obviously Mugen's being chased. He's on the run, everyone's throwing swords, firing arrows at him. And here's another one. All die cast. Now there is slots for the swords and the arrows on the base, but you can pretty much put them where you want. And the arrows, like I say, they just rest in. A couple of slots didn't really work for me, so I've just been kind of sticking them where I can. And again, arrows made of die cast. Very, very nice. So, like I say, with the regular, you get the stoic head, you get the arrows. The exclusive, you get the die cast swords as well. And you also get this head, which to me really works better with the pose. I hate to say exclusive or fail, but it's, I think the extra swords just add to the pandemonium of the whole piece, and I think the head just works a whole lot better. Now, I'm going to try, and because the head goes in, it's like a weird angle. Are we there? I think we're there. So I'm going to give you a 360 of this as best I can. So we've got swords poking out everywhere. And while I've got him at the side there, I'm just going to lift this up. So you can see, it's honestly, it's a piece you've got to see in hand, because it's so, you know, it's 24 inches tall, and just those legs flailing everywhere is just incredible. You see, we've got the base here, it's like a rooftop, we've got some nice wood textures, some nice bricks, roof tiles, lots of little nooks and crannies to put your swords and arrows in. So what I am going to do, guys, because I'm so nervous, I'm going to pause it, I'm going to take the books away, we're going to put him flat. 2 seconds, well, it won't even be that to you. And I'm back. So as you can see, I've got him flat now on the Lazy Susan. And from, this is about my sitting head height. You know, you just don't get the portrait whatsoever. So like I was saying about, you know, having him high up or having him at head height really helps. Also, just forgot to mention, Mugen sword. Also die cast. Which Fizz figures do for pretty much all their swords now. All the ones on Sif's base are all die cast. I think a couple of the Zelda pieces have got die cast swords. I remember Zelda herself had a die cast sword. And, you know, the quality is just ridiculous. It makes, you know, when other companies can't do die cast, it just doesn't make sense. So let's just talk. This has been a bit of a scatter review, hasn't it? But let's bear with it. Paints, they're flawless. There's nothing I wouldn't change anything. I love the fact. Let me just see if it's like they've added like the lines in, like under the eyes, and more. It feels like it's been kind of marked. So like if we can see on Mugen's chest. Like the clothing, the white shirt has like this black lines running through it. And little details like that. It's something that's kind of missing on Saitama. And it's probably not there in the anime, but for a 3D statue, it kind of adds those details that you need without losing track of what, you know, what it is. I lost a lot of the new Sumi stuff, like the Vegeta and the Son Goku. They've kind of added textures everywhere on the clothing, and it just doesn't work for me. It's too far removed from what the anime looked like, whereas this has got the lines, like the sketchy, like it's been drawn in. It's, yeah, it really, really works. He's got it on his trousers, on his jacket, you know, on his body, and it just adds that little bit of texture to the sculpt, which some anime characters, you know, lack. But I don't want it too much the other way. Like, that's what I feel like Sume are doing. You know, all these ridiculous textures, and it's kind of moves away from an anime piece, but you've got this anime face, and it just doesn't work for me. But this is kind of the best of both worlds. You've got that super duper clean paint everywhere, but all these black marks and scratches, and just to add that texture, that detail, which otherwise it would look more like a simple piece. I don't know what else to say about it really. It's an amazing pose. It's 1/4 scale, which I think is fantastic. It's well priced. The EX is fantastic. Switch out head, extra swords. Paints are brilliant. Did I say paint? Pose, paint. I honestly think it's one of the best anime pieces I've got. Actually, I haven't got a lot at the moment, but you know, if you follow my channel, you know I've had most of the Sume stuff, the early stuff like Usopp and Zoro. You know, these landmark Sume pieces, which will like define the anime collectible, and I'd definitely put this up against any of the best ones. I really would, or any of the customs out there, and hopefully, you know, the move to 1/4 scale pieces will continue to happen, and it is happening with Prime 1. I really hope it continues with Fierce Figures. Now, this hasn't done well, like I said earlier in the video, so, you know, everyone's pushing for get Jin now. Jin from Samurai Champloo. And I really hope that we can get those votes in. If you don't know about Fierce Figures, if you go and join the club on Facebook, everything happens there. You are literally making decisions and, you know, that affect things. You know, if you're not voting in polls, you're not having an opinion. You know, if you're not joining in the live streams, you're missing out on information. You're not getting your opinions across. And the best thing about Fierce Figures is they listen. They really, really do. So go onto Facebook, join the Fierce Figures Collectors Club. It's really friendly. People post lots of nice pictures and collections and videos and all that sort of stuff on there. The live streams are super good fun. I'd really, really recommend it. And more so, you can get in there and say, hey, I miss Mugen. I wasn't a member of the club then, but I've just picked up the regular, I've just picked up the exclusive, and I really want Jin to go with it. And when that Jin poll comes up, you can vote, and and make it happen. Just one more thing before I forget. As usual, first figures, you get your authenticity card. So there's a Mugen exclusive edition. I'm just covering up my code. So you authenticate your item, your number that you get with this one. Then if they do make Jin later in the line, I will also get Jin at that number if I pre-order. And then because I ordered day one you get a few extra things. You get some more reward points, which is great. And you also get a day one card signed by Mr. Alex Davies, owner of First Figures. And there's the back, a simple design. And then you also get one of these day one stickers, holographic stickers, which I've shown on King and on Artorias, etc., etc. So yeah, it's pretty much the complete package. Like I say, one of my favourite pieces I've got now. Definitely the best anime, one of the best anime pieces I've got. I don't think it's probably I enjoy it as much as my Prime 1 Ultraman, but we've got a lot of good Prime 1 shit coming. I'm going to pause the video now. I'm going to put Mugen over with Saitama, do a bit of quick filming over there, and then I'm going to film the Jin review. So I'll probably put both reviews up tomorrow. So by the time you've watched this, Jin should be there if you want to go over and watch Tekken 5 Jin exclusive. So I'm going to pause now, guys, and then we'll just do a quick couple of minutes of Saitama. So here we go, guys. There he is. There's Saitama. There's Ultraman. We've got Ultimate Swordsman there as well from XM. So this is 2 best to high, which is around 50 inches. And as you can see from that position, my eye level's here. So I'd really have to get down to see his face. So I don't know what we're going to do with him. But as you can see, he really does stand out with those legs flailing everywhere. It's a very, very unconventional pose, and that's what's so great about it. And it just works so much with the character. You know, the amount of times in the anime that he's leaping across rooftops or trying to escape. But there you go, guys. There's the 2 first pieces, anime pieces from First Figures. I do have Guts on order, so he will join them probably next year now. I don't have Spike on order. Spike is one that I probably will order once I've made it through Bebop. And if I like it, of course, I never buy anything just for the sake of buying it. You know, but if I do end up falling in love with Cowboy Bebop, I'm sure I'll pick Spike up as well. So there you go, guys. A bit of a rambling review, but you know, you should be used to that by now if you're following me. If you're new to me, hi. And yeah, that's kind of how I do my reviews. It's all kind of one take and me just talking. I'm sure I've missed a couple of things, but the main point is Mugen's fucking great. If you want to pick him up, go and find him. If you want to go on the First Figures Club, do so. I'll just grab this. That's the new pamphlet. So there's Guts, Ornstein, Spyro, Taki, Alucard, Snake, Shovel Knight and Crash. And there's instructions there to get on to First Figures. There you go. That's how to authenticate. Tells you all about it. But do go and join the First Figures Collectors Club. And subscribe on YouTube as well, because all the documentaries, all the making ofs, etc., all go on YouTube. And yeah, there we go. I'm going to sign off now, guys, because I've managed to keep this one under 20 minutes. Jin's coming up next. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye.